Welcome back to our special Inside the Issues Hour. We recently touched on a little-known but important issue in American life, horse meat. We interviewed a man called Dave Duquette. He came on the show and argued that Congress ought to change the law to allow slaughter and sale of horse meat for human consumption.
It's mainly a welfare issue, Tucker. It's the welfare of horses in the horse world is it's gone downhill ever since. When you have something that doesn't have any value at all, which is what the unwanted horse is. We have a huge history of horse meat consumption in the United States.
We got a remarkable response to that segment. Horse meat is uncommon in this country, very common in Mexico and in France. Nancy Watson is not impressed by that. She's president of the Safe Food, Safe Horses Coalition. She thinks the idea of serving Black Beauty at Thanksgiving dinner is repugnant. She saw that segment, asked to come on to state her case, and of course we were glad to have her. Nancy, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Tucker.
So the argument is from the other side, and again, I'm agnostic on this, though I don't plan to have a cheval burger anytime soon, but the argument is that there are a lot of unwanted horses, and we did find a lot of news stories describing abandoned horses, and that this market in horse meat might be a solution to that. That's the argument anyway. What is your response?
There are no unwanted horses in America. Just recently, MPDI published a poll taken just a few months ago where it showed 1.2 million homes available for horses in need. It's a matter of rehoming them and making the effort to find them a new home. There are no unwanted horses. It's a manufactured crisis by the small faction of horse meat eating people in the United States who want to bring that industry back.
You said it's a threat to public health. How so?
Well, the FDA, the government agency responsible for public health and food safety, classifies horses as companion animals. We raise them in the United States as athletes, workmates, and companions. So they're medicated with hundreds of toxic chemicals and pharmaceuticals that are banned for use on livestock or food-producing animals. And we're putting these horses into the food supply. And, you know, we're contaminating the food supply knowingly. We supply 2/3 of the horses that are slaughtered for human consumption in Mexico and in Canada.
Now, why would, and I know that you're sincerely, gravely opposed to eating horse, but why would people go to all this effort to argue on behalf of eating horses when there are perfectly good cows available, for example? What is the appeal of horse meat?
That's a great question. You know, the cost of raising horses for slaughter is way more than the cost of raising cows for slaughter. And the slaughter process is much more costly for horses. They have 5 times more blood than a cow. You know, it's just a messy process. I can't fathom why anybody would want to slaughter a horse. They're physically, you know, they have the long muscular necks, so the head restraints don't work, the captive bolt doesn't work. I really don't know why anybody wants to bring that industry to the United States.
Do you think there's something degrading of a nation about eating horses?
Personally, I do, yeah. But honestly, our fight is about public health and food safety.
Right.
There is a crisis. You know, we're contaminating the food supply with toxic horses. Horse meat that's sourced from U.S. horses is toxic.
And there's something awful about it. I agree with you. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I think I'm on your side. Thank you very much for that. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you, Tucker.